Thank you for being a caregiver, and thank you for your compassionate, kind service, and welcome to the Amada Senior Care team. Today we're going to be going over safety and new hire orientation. Your recruiter or supervisor will go over in detail all the points that I will touch on briefly during this presentation. It's important that you always keep your contact information current and up to date. That means your email, phone number, and cell phone. Your emergency contact is important as well. We need their phone number and email contact as well. Your certificates. If you're a certified nursing assistant or a nursing assistant registered or a home care aide, please keep your certificates current and up to date. If your certificates are not up to date and current, we cannot assign you to clients, so please keep them current. The first 90 to 180 days is considered your probationary time. This is a time where we're measuring your performance and how well you care for our seniors. As a caregiver, you're employed as a per diem employee, which means that when you're working for us or being paid, your hours are never fixed. When we have a client, they may have 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day, or 12 hours a day. We'll let you know the name of the client. It'll be on your caregiver portal, and those hours for that client are what we have assigned to you. We'll notify you when we have shifts available in your area. We'll do this through a text message through our system. The more you're available, the more shifts that we'll have to assign to you. As a personal care attendant, you'll be assisting our clients or seniors with activities of daily living, such as bathing, dressing, toileting, the activities of daily living that you and I perform fairly easily. But as seniors and our clients age, these things become more and more difficult, and they're relying on you to help them with those types of activities. Other things that you'll be doing as a personal care attendant are considered instrumental activities of daily living. These are things like housekeeping, laundry, keeping the home clean and tidy and safe, making sure that their beds are made, that they're eating properly, and their overall health as well. You may also be assigned to take care of seniors that need medication reminders. Let's talk a little bit about medication reminders. This is important. Medication reminders is the simple act of reminding a senior to take their medications. You may bring their medications in a pill box to them, remind them to take their medications. It's their responsibility to open them and administer themselves. Anything beyond a medication reminder requires a registered nurse to delegate that responsibility to you. And prior to doing anything other than medication reminders, you must have the proper nurse delegation training and be delegated by a registered nurse for that specific client. So please remember, as a personal care attendant, we're simply helping with activities of daily living such as bathing and dressing, transferring and toileting. An instrumental activity of daily living, housekeeping, laundry, transportation services, and medication reminders. Many of our clients are not able to drive, and on the plan of care, you may be assigned to drive them to the doctor's appointments, shopping, pick up their medications. Please drive safely, obey the laws. We've been trusted to take care of our seniors, and the last thing we want to have happen is an accident while you're driving. Please make sure your driver's license is current and that you also have an updated insurance as well. If you're driving your own personal car, you'll be reimbursed at the current IRS approved rate. In 2016, that rate is 54 cents a mile. It's important after you complete that day's shift to record all the activities of daily living and report your miles at the end of the day. In front of you also have the HIPAA form. HIPAA form mandates that you are not to share any of the client's personal information with anybody outside of the care team. That means that if you're taking care of somebody in the morning and you arrive at a new client's place, when you left your prior client's home and have arrived at your current client's house, you don't discuss anything that happened with your prior client. At times, the new client may ask you, hey, how was your morning? How did you do with your client before you came here? And it's okay to say, things went great and I'm glad to be here, but I can't discuss my prior client's information. But I'm glad to be here today. How can I help you today? So please make sure that you follow the HIPAA policies and procedures. Your supervisor will go in detail more about how this policy applies to you. One main point that I want to focus in on around the HIPAA policy is there may be family and friends that are calling the house and asking about your client, about their senior. It's important that you know that they are not a part of the care plan, and it's never appropriate to discuss the care plan or any of the care plan's needs with anybody other than those that are on the care plan and part of the Amada Senior Care team. At times you may be contacted by other people other than the care team, such as somebody from the insurance company. They may call and want to know, what are you doing for the client? Again, that person is not part of the care team. Please refer them back to the office to talk with somebody or your supervisor about the plan of care and what activities of daily living that we are performing for them. In front of you, you'll see the solicitation agreement. What does that mean? At Amada Senior Care, we work really hard to make sure that we have clients for you to take care of. Please respect that. It is never appropriate to solicit your services instead of using Amada Senior Care services. Your supervisor will go over the consequences that will happen if you solicit them hiring you privately. It is never appropriate, so please respect the fact that we've worked hard to find clients for you and other caregivers in our organization. Let's talk about our dress policy. Seniors are very apprehensive about allowing strangers to come into their own home. It's their own privacy. And how do they know that you're with Amada Senior Care? Because you're wearing the scrubs that clearly state you're with Amada Senior Care, or you've got your name badge. So please come dressed appropriately with your scrubs and your name badge. The only time it's appropriate not to wear scrubs is if a client has specifically asked that you not wear scrubs because they feel more comfortable in their home with you as a member of their family, would come visit with them, and other friends. That is the only time, but please let us know that the client has requested that you not wear scrubs so that we can approve that. We have a zero tolerance for sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is not just limited between employees of Amada Senior Care. If you ever feel like any interaction is inappropriate between any of the Amada Senior Care employees, whether it's other caregivers or office staff or anybody that works at Amada Senior Care, please talk with your direct supervisor immediately. If you don't feel comfortable with that, talk with that person's supervisor or open door to the owner of Amada Senior Care. Now, sexual harassment is not just limited to interactions between Amada Senior Care employees. At times you may feel uncomfortable with the things that our clients or seniors may be saying or doing in your presence. Please let us know if that's ever happening so that we can make changes, we can talk with the client, and we can make sure that this type of behavior does not happen between you and a client. If there's anything that happens between a family member of one of our clients or anybody that you come in contact with, we have a zero tolerance for sexual harassment. Now let's move on to something a little bit more light, and that's vacation. Please let us know when you're going to go on vacation. We require a 2 weeks notice in writing when you're going on vacation. Our clients are depending upon you to be there, and the more advance notice we're able to give them, the more comfortable they feel with them being gone, and it also allows us to find the appropriate caregiver to care for our client while you're on vacation. It is never appropriate to smoke while working on the job. You may be even assigned to clients that smoke. It's still inappropriate and never acceptable to smoke while on the clock and caring for a senior at Amada Senior Care. Not just smoking, but also perfumes and fragrances. Seniors are very sensitive to all types of smells. For instance, if you're wearing a lot of perfumes, it triggers a migraine with me. It did with my mom, and it does with a lot of seniors. So please limit the perfumes and fragrances when you come to work as well. Remember, you may be the only caregiver assigned to a client. So when you call off or give very short notice that you're going to be able to make it to work, it leaves our client hanging without appropriate care and safety. things could happen as well. It really puts your scheduler, your supervisor in a bad place trying to find a caregiver on short notice. So please give us at least 24-hour notice. When you call off, it causes a whole host of problems, one of which is the senior or a client can discontinue services. What does that do? That damages our brand, our name, and our ability to find new work for not just you or others. So please, no call-offs. Give us plenty of notice. We're not able to make it to an assigned shift. As a caregiver that connects well with your clients, it's natural to develop a bond between them. Please remember to keep that bond on a professional level. Don't share all your personal information. You're there to provide care for them. When you dump all your personal problems on them, that's awfully heavy and never appropriate. Remember, you're an Amada employee, not an employee for the client. You're assigned to take care of our clients and make sure that they're taken care of, and we appreciate your dedication to providing care. But at all times, remember, you're employed by Amada, not the client. What does that mean? That means that when you need time off, vacation, when you need to make any type of changes, please contact Amada, discuss your employment with your supervisor, not with your client. Let's talk about fraud and a couple of examples of fraud. Again, a zero tolerance for any type of fraud. Fraud could end with you losing your job and possible litigation and criminal charges being filed. So please pay attention to this policy. If you're ever injured on the job, please report it directly to your supervisor so that we can make sure that the proper work comp claims are filled and that we follow the proper procedures to make sure that you get your work comp benefits. It is fraudulent for you to report any type of work-related injury that did not take place while working on the job at Amada Senior Care. Filing for unemployment while still employed at Amada Senior Care can be considered fraud as well. Time fraud. When you arrive at your job, clock in using the approved methods, the GPS time clock or the toll-free number, which we'll go over later in this presentation. If you report time that you did not work and are paid for it, that is theft and time fraud. At the end of your shifts, you will be reporting the activities of daily living that you have provided that day. To record tasks and activities of daily living that you did not perform is considered fraud as well. Many of our clients have long-term care insurance policies, and we report these activities of daily living to the insurance company. If we're reporting tasks that you did not perform, that could be considered fraud and could result in severe consequences to Amada Senior Care. So please refrain from committing fraud of any type. When your supervisor assigns a client to you to take care of, you'll go on to your caregiver portal. There you'll see the name of your client, your address, and the plan of care. Please take the time and review the plan of care. Know what you're supposed to do when you get there. There's nothing more embarrassing for your supervisor or myself or anybody that comes to visit to do a customer service call and to hear a client say, the caregiver said she didn't even know what she was supposed to do when she got here. So please, before you arrive at your client's house, take the time to review the plan of care, know what activities of daily living you're going to be doing, what instrumental activities of daily living are going to be performed, medication services, whether or not you're going to be doing any transportation, and record your task codes at the end of every shift. It is never appropriate to do any banking for your client. It is never appropriate for you to take a client's credit card, to know their PIN number, to deposit money into a client's bank, or to take any money out of a client's bank. If your client asks you to perform any type of banking, both for your sake and also our clients, please report it to your supervisor so we can make note of it. If your client's conditions changes, please report that in the task codes at the end of your shift. Also make a phone call to the office and talk to your supervisor and let them know that your client's condition has changed, that we need to come out and adjust the plan of care and do another assessment. If the client is ever hospitalized or sent to a rehabilitation center, please let us know the name of the hospital, the name of the rehabilitation center, so that we can contact the family or anybody else, and also make sure that there's proper documentation of what's going on with our clients or your client, and we can help prepare for a safe discharge and make a new plan of care when they come home. So again, please make sure you notify your supervisor or the office when a client that you're caring for is either hospitalized or sent to rehab. When they come home from the hospital, they may have home health. And it's important for us as a care team to work closely with the home health team. So call the office, let them know the name of the home health care company that's there, so that we can adjust any care plans and make sure that we're following through with anything that home health is doing as well. Know your schedule and be on time. Being on time and prompt says a lot about your commitment to the care of the client that you're assigned to. When you're routinely late, it sends a signal that they're not that important to you. And the last thing we want to do is make one of our clients or senior feel that they're not important. So please be on time and also work your entire shift. If the client asks you for any reason to leave early, call the office and let them know so that we can approve it. When clients are routinely allowing you or asking you to leave early, it says a message to the office or your supervisor that there may be something going on. This may not be a good fit between you and that client, or the quality of care that you're providing the senior doesn't feel comfortable with. So work your entire shift. If you're going to leave early because the client wants you to, call us, let us know, and also record that you're leaving early. If the client asks to change their schedule, it's important for you to ask them to call the office so that we can make that schedule change and are aware of the needed schedule changes. It's never appropriate for you and the client to make schedule changes without involving your direct supervisor. So all schedule changes must be approved by your supervisor. So please call the office so we can make those changes. We understand that emergencies happen, and at times you may need to leave a shift early. Call the office and let us know that something has happened so that we can have a replacement caregiver come in and replace you if that's necessary. It is never appropriate to ever leave a client without having Amada Senior Care or your supervisor involved and approve you leaving the client. Just up and leaving the client is considered patient abandonment, neglect, and abuse. If you leave your client without notifying us, we will report that as abuse, patient abandonment to the state, and it will affect your ability to work in this industry. Payday is on the 5th and 20th of the month. The first pay period is the 1st through the 15th, and payday is on the 20th. The second period is the 16th through the last day of the month, and payday is on the 5th. If the 5th or the 20th fall on the weekend or on a holiday, it may be the next business day when you will be paid and your money will be deposited, or your paycheck will be deposited in your bank, or the check available at the office. I know I've covered a lot of information, and your supervisor and recruiter will go over all this information in detail. While they're going over that, please ask all your questions that you may have for anything that I've touched here on, or anything that you've read in the information that you're signing in front of you right now. The last 2 points that we're going to go over during this presentation, we're going to bridge to, and that's your caregiver portal. Very important that you understand how the caregiver portal works. So please pay close attention to the caregiver portal and how it works. The last thing, which I know is important to you, and that is how to clock in and how to clock out. This is how you're paid. It's also how we bill our clients for the services you provide. So please understand how to properly clock in and clock out and follow that policies and procedures appropriately so that you can get paid and our clients are billed appropriately. Thank you for your commitment to being a caregiver. Thank you for your commitment to providing compassionate service. Look forward to hearing great things about you, and welcome to the Amada Senior Care Team.
Every caregiver will have a pre-created caregiver portal. Your supervisor will give you a username, a password, and an account ID number. Company links. The Amada Senior Care link will take you directly to the Amada Senior Care homepage. Pay Choice will take you directly to Online Employer to view or retrieve your pay stub or payroll information. Benefits, you will be able to see an overview of your benefits or benefits that are available. Caregiver training and CEU. So for the caregivers or the CNAs that have licensing, you will go to caregiver training to retrieve your CEUs. If you are enrolled in the HCA training course, you will click on this link and begin your training. My schedule. The My Schedule tab will have you view your schedule a month at a time. You will click on the shift and view the care plan. The care plan will give you the client's first and last name, their address, along with the client ID number that you will need to clock in and to clock out. The plan of care will give you all information you will need to provide the proper care for the client. Once you have viewed the plan of care, simply press X. Once you have viewed the plan of care and you're able to thoroughly follow the plan of care, you will then confirm your shift. You will click on the shift and confirm this schedule. A message will display asking, "Are you sure you wish to confirm?" and you will press yes. Any notes in this box will be from your supervisor to you. Please do not leave any notes in here for your supervisor. If there is any information that your supervisor needs to know pertaining to the shift or the client, please contact them and let them know. Your shift will then turn blue. We require all caregivers a week prior to working a shift or a schedule log on and confirm. If you receive a message from your supervisor stating that you have not entered the correct task codes, you will click on the shift indicated and update shift task. You will click on the task codes that you've done for the client for that day. Once you have completed all the task codes, you will press Save Task Codes. You will need to call your supervisor, letting your supervisor know that you have sent over the task codes that were missing. In the My Profile tab. In the My Profile section, you will have contact information. You are able to view, edit, or manipulate any information in this section. If you do change any information in the contact information section, please contact your supervisor via email or over the phone, letting them know of the changes you have made. Important Dates column will have all of the licensing and or credentials that you obtain. It is your responsibility to make sure all licensing and or credentials stay up to date. You will receive an alert prior to the expiration date. If you have not updated the office with the up-to-date credential and the expiration date happens to appear, you will be removed from all schedules and inactive in our system. Login details. You're able to change the password that was pre-created by your supervisor. In the Documents tab. The Documents column will have all of the documents that you have signed during orientation or have obtained throughout the employment with Amada Senior Care. They are available for your view and or for your download. You simply click on download and you're able to download the document that is on file. If you have any additional questions in regards to the caregiver portal, please contact your supervisor. Clocking in and clocking out using the GPS time card or the client's home phone. If you have an iPhone or an Android, please make sure that both of the phones are set up to receive location services through the internet browser. For iPhones, you will go to the settings and the privacy section. You will turn location services on. It will give you a list of location services through your apps. Safari will need to be turned on. It will say while using the app. For the Android phone, in the app section for settings, you will scroll to the very bottom where it says location and press turn on. Please check with your supervisor to make sure either the GPS link or the client's home phone is the preferred method for clocking in and clocking out. The GPS link should have been sent to your phone. It will display as on screen. Depending on whatever method you are using to clock in or to clock out, you will press either or. For this example, we are clocking in. When you clock in, it will take you directly over to the second screen where it says Mobile Clock-In System. You will enter your client ID number and your employee ID number. Due to you turning on your location services, your latitude and longitude is automatic. The only way you will be able to successfully log into your shift is to be in the client's driveway or at the front door or within a 100 feet parameter of the client's home. Once you have entered the client ID number and the employee ID number, you will be able to successfully log in. You will receive a message stating, "Thank you, you have been logged in to start your shift." It will indicate your client's name and also the last activities you have performed for that client. If you scroll down on the screen, you'll be able to see the plan of care for the client you are providing care for. Now it's time to clock out. You will go back to that very same link that you used to clock in. Since you are clocking out, you will click on the Clock Out tab. It will take you to a screen where it says Mobile Clock-Out System. You will enter the same client ID number and the employee ID number that you used to clock in. Your latitude and longitude will be given to you once again for having your location services on. You will press Save. Once it's taken your information, it will take you to a Shift Activities page. You will click on the task codes that you have performed for that client. Once you have clicked on all the task codes that you have performed, you will press Save at the bottom of the page. It will take you to a mobile clock-out system where you can enter off-pay, mileage, errand mileage, expenses, or an expense description. For this example, the caregiver drove 15 miles in her vehicle for her client, and she went over a bridge which incurred a toll fee of $5.50. You will then press Save. You will receive a message saying that you have been successfully logged out and all your activities have been saved. Clocking in using the toll-free number. This method is preferred and is only acceptable using the client's home phone. You will call the toll-free number as listed by your supervisor. To clock in, you will press 1 followed by the pound sign. It will prompt you to enter your caregiver identification number followed by the pound sign. It will then ask you to enter your client's identification number followed by the pound sign. You will receive a message stating, "Thank you," indicating your name. You have been successfully logged into your shift. Please remember to log out. Clocking out using the toll-free number. Please make sure this method is only used by the client's home phone. Prior to clocking out, you must know all the task codes you have performed for that client. Using this method, it will only give you 3 seconds per code to record it. You will call the toll-free number indicated by your supervisor. You will be prompted to end your shift, press 2 followed by the pound sign. It will then ask you your caregiver identification number, followed by the pound sign. Once you have entered your caregiver identification number, you will then enter your client's identification number, followed by the pound sign. At this portion, you will enter the task codes performed during your shift. Please make sure that after every task code, you enter a pound sign. Once you have entered all the task codes, you will press the 0 key. You will receive a message saying that you have been successfully clocked out and your task codes have been recorded.